Yes, Hamzambo family. Welcome to the Fit for Corresponding show on the Blackwood Fan Network Media for the 21st century. I hope that everyone is doing fantastic. And of course, this is on the 5th day of the month of April. The year is 2022. In Swahili, we normally would say Karibuni Sana. And of course, at 2:30 p.m. right here in Nairobi. I don't know what time it might be, wherever you might be tuning from. But welcome to the broadcast where we get to discuss about African news and updates, what is happening on the continent, be it in political affairs, social economic affairs, technological affairs, environmental issues, and everything else in between right here on the continent of Africa. The goal is to just give us a better understanding of what is happening on the continent, and also to get to engage you on our building up right here on the continent. And when I'm talking about building up, it seems like a country such as the DRC Congo is really trying its best to sort of attract investment from the outside. The only problem is, in as much as they are pushing to attract these investments from the outside, the conditions in the DRC Congo have not changed. And when you're talking about the conditions, I'm talking about the security in the country. You realize that, for example, in the northern eastern part of the DRC Congo, there is always conflict and insecurity, and therefore there is no way a country like the DRC Congo is going to have the confidence of foreign investors if they are really not working on the internal issues. You cannot really have an investor coming outside, maybe from maybe the US, or coming from.
That's all nonsense. The white people are the ones that are causing white people are the ones that's keeping it destabilized, because that's how they steal the resources out of there. I'm glad most people are starting to understand that. We're talking about the ISIS, the Al-Qaeda's, that's CIA, the Al-Shabaabs, the damn Boko Harams and all that shit. They're funded back by the Europeans. There was no destabilization in Africa until white people got control of Africa, especially the Congo. They keep it destabilized so they can steal out of there. They don't ever want to stabilize so people can not be where they can actually build and think. Always got to be under threat of violence and dying and shot and killed and murdered. And it's funny that Africa's never been this war torn until white people got there, got control of the continent. Have all these damn wars. Black people not even warlike people. That's why they haven't built no guns and built no. But now Africa's full of wars all the time. All these clashes all the time. When common sense material is not coming to Africa. Africa only got a gun factory in the whole goddamn continent. So Africa's not even warlike.
I think South Africa has a gun manufacturing.
That's because that ain't because of the goddamn African. Because of the white people in South Africa. It ain't got nothing to do with black people. That's South Africa. Because it's in Africa, white people control it. That's why they got guns there, because white people are there. They got control of the country. White people create armaments, weapons, kill. That's their culture.
That is them. I would also be doubtful. I think we might also all confirm that maybe if we do have a gun manufacturing company in Egypt or Morocco. I will confirm. Let me see if there is a.
Well, those are white Arabs, still not black people. They ain't showing me nothing with black people. I don't give a fuck about no interlopers who have invaded Africa. Those are not Africans, so they don't count either. If you're talking about Morocco or Algeria, fucking Libya, Egypt today. Those are the African people. So of course they got probably weapons. I'm talking about African people.
Yeah. Egypt does as well. I see Egypt has a company known as Amotera, which provides a list of 25 weapons.
Of course.
They do. In Egypt, they do. They are not playing around. But for the rest of the continent, we do not have we do not have countries that are manufacturing weapons. But I was saying there is a big potential in investment in the continent, and I'm talking about the Congo right now. They are going out. They are going out to try and war foreign investors to come into the country. And the attention right now
has Africa as a child. Every deal is gonna not be non-benefit. There's people in Congo. You think all that minerals are getting out the Congo? Shit, investment. People don't want to invest. They want to steal it. I think everything still come out the Congo. You would have a computer. We wouldn't be talking on the phone or computer if people didn't. All this shit came out the Congo. So don't talk about no investment because all this shit's being made and all this stuff is only found in the Congo. So how's the shit getting out the Congo? Congolese people ain't getting paid for the shit.
The dandies are still living in poverty there, and everyone else living in poverty. And a few individuals are making, like the Felix Tshisekedi is a president. I would presume that he's a gatekeeper and he's letting all these resources being taken out: the cobalt, the diamonds, the gold.
You don't got any choice. It's got a choice. The African population is ignorant. Like people, let's get after the brass tacks. I don't even want to. I don't want to sugarcoat nothing. The African population is ignorant as hell, so they're easily to be manipulated. You know, according to the Chinese, I'm gonna be a Chinaman. The African is a dummy. He's supposed to be rude because he's a dummy. He's supposed to be rude.
The Congolese government have also been in bed for a long time with the French, so the French are also exploiting it. But right now, what they are doing is that so right now, what they are doing is that they are trying to brand their country as a land of opportunities. For example, if you go on different platforms, they have also been holding business forums. They have been holding expos. They have been holding investment summits to try and bring in investors or try to attract investors into the DRC Congo.
Why should I invest? Why should I invest when I'm getting it for free? I do stabilize, bringing my goddamn terrorist groups. I'm getting the shit for free. Invest for what? I'm not going to invest no money when I'm getting the shit out of there for free. You ain't got nowhere to stop me.
Sorry, this is what is happening. Now, let me just share a little bit of what is happening. Let me share a video here. This is how the Congo is trying to market itself with this campaign, which is a land of opportunity. Is a campaign. Let me share it. There's an audio on this one.
It's the second largest country in Africa with a population of more than 80 million people. This is the Democratic Republic of the Congo. At the recent UAE and DRC Business Forum in Dubai, ministers highlighted the economic benefits of expanding their trade and development opportunities.
La République démocratique du Congo. It's often said the Democratic Republic of Congo is a land of opportunity. One can invest in agriculture, fishing, livestock farming, industry, road, port and airport infrastructure, and mining. The country has immense potential, but it's not yet been transformed and has not been sufficiently explored and exploited. This is why the model of the Emirates, which is a pretty useful model, is inspiring the Democratic Republic of Congo.
While the country is best known for its mining industry, agriculture and digital infrastructure was high on the agenda. The DRC imports most of its basic products, and although it has 80 million hectares of land, only 10% is currently exploited.
This is the funny part that they have over 80 million hectares, but only 10% is exploited. And we have always said on the network that if the DRC Congo was to exploit its full farming potential or its potential for agriculture, then it would have maybe perhaps the DRC and a country like Cameroon feeding the rest of the 54 countries on the continent. But like you did here with this report, only 10% of the land is being exploited productively. That's meaning that 90%, the rest 90% is just there, not being utilized properly. And you shall still hear of cases of hunger and other challenges, food security in a country which is considered to be the second lung of the world, of the earth, because we do have the Amazon forest and then we do have the Congo basin, which is the second lung of the world. But this is a country with immense potential, only that this potential has not been exploited. I would say this is because of the leadership and also the governance and also the people themselves, because you cannot just point the finger of blame on the government and say the government has not provided this, the government is not doing that, which is the case for many African countries. This has also to do with the lack of, I would say, self-initiative on the side of the people as well.
The DRC is diversifying its investments. We have the mines, of course, but the most important thing is the agro industry. We have the energy. We already have some infrastructure and others that are being set up, but also new information technologies, digital. And we have tourism and, of course, education and health. These different sectors are going to develop the growth of our country.
Over at Dubai Expo 2020, the celebrations for the DRC's National Day brought out the big crowds as Congolese President Felix Tshisekedi highlighted the country's success of international relations.
We wanted to bring the Democratic Republic of the Congo with all its assets to Dubai because we know that this is a hub for meetings and that it's possible to present the Democratic Republic of the Congo like a mirror.
This right here is the president. Not sure what's happening now with his neck here. If I do not know, but anyhow, his name is Felix Tshisekedi, and his country has also been it has a challenge of corruption, just like any other African country, where you do find many corrupt deals that have also impacted on the economy negatively. The government losing a whole lot of revenue. Simply because of corruption. And I would say if we did have the proper exploitation of the full resources of the Congo, then maybe perhaps people even contribute positively with taxes. But that is not happening because the economy is mostly based on agriculture. And when you do have small-scale agriculture, it's difficult really to also get to tap into all the avenues that they would maybe perhaps collect the taxes from to build up their own country.
Providing solutions and assets to help the world overcome the challenges that it faces.
Les défis que le monde justement rencontre.
Our country is a peaceful country, and we welcome people.
We have creativity, hospitality. And hope, and the young nation.
Colorful, we have many minerals, and it's very huge in Africa and in the world. Very huge. Congo is very huge.
The DRC Pavilion at Expo gives visitors an opportunity to learn more about the country, which is home to the world's second largest rainforest and remains one of the first reservoirs of biodiversity, with over 15,000 unique species.
What the world is working on actually is to protect the climate. As you said before, we have like the biggest or the second biggest forest in the world. We can protect all the humanity. The second thing is that we have all the raw materials the world needs to face the clean energy challenge.
As well as its trade and industry, it's also steeped in culture and heritage. The birthplace of rumba has also given us musicians like rap superstar Gims, who brings a modern twist to the Congolese sound.
Maître Gims, sometimes he mixes like urban music from France, where he grew up, and from Congo, where his father, where he finds his origin. And actually, he's one of a cultural ambassador. It was very good to have him to show to the world that Congolese musicians can make Arab people and Western people dance.
With over 790,000 visitors and 264,000 tourists, the Democratic Republic of the Congo is looking forwards to a promising future and welcoming the world to invest in and learn more about the heart of Africa.
Talking from the perspective of the mineral endowment of this particular country, it should actually be the richest on the continent. But the way people are living in the Congo, they are living in poverty, which is really sad. And like you did here, only 10% of the land is being used for productive farming, meaning that there is a whole big potential. If we would have foreign investors or even local investors being serious about exploiting the full potential of farming and agriculture in the DRC Congo, then we will not be talking about food insecurity on the continent of Africa. We will be talking about a continent that is able to feed even the rest of the world, just like we were the food basket of the rest of the world many years ago. Right now, we do have Africa being at the mercies of other nations, to feed us. And you will find also that mentality that we can only be helped instead of waking up and doing for ourselves. That has also been one of the biggest challenges with the mentality. The land is there, the resources are there, only that the organizing and also the control of these resources is also not under the hands of these people who are supposed to be in the control and the utilizing or the exploitation of these resources. It's a biggest problem. But yes, not only do we have the DRC Congo, another country right now that is on a big campaign really to draw in investors. This happens to be South Africa, which is also being dubbed as another land of opportunities. So these are some of the two governments I have seen this year going, being very, very deliberate about trying and attracting foreign investors. For the DRC, what they are saying from this particular summit, they have already had some deals. The problem is these deals are really not in the interest of the African most of the time when you do have these deals being signed. But they already have an infrastructure deal that was signed with the French Development Agency did sign a deal with the DRC for digital infrastructure development, and also they did have they also did have a dynamic drive to sort of draw in investors also coming in from the UAE, which is also, I think they are also going the way Rwanda has done, because Rwanda has also brought in a lot of investors from the UAE. Even at this particular point, thinking that the UAE, like the Qataris, are running Rwanda because of the investment that has been made in that particular country. When you go into Rwanda, you will find the construction of sports stadia, and the stadiums are good. The only problem is that the level of income for many people, I don't think it has gotten to that level where now people will be filling up in these particular stadiums. It's good that you have sports facilities and things like that, but I would believe that the basic structures should be set in place first, so that we also do have things working for them to meet the standards of living and also the income that every other kind of a household may be able to tap into. I know for Rwanda, the level of inequality is relatively lower compared to a country like South Africa or Nigeria or Kenya, where we do have the inequality levels being very, very high. But my only concern is the ownership or the control of these resources might eventually fall under the hands of these UAE, the Arabs who are coming in from Qatar, coming in from Dubai and other different places from the Middle East, investing heavily in Rwanda. They will eventually, of course, take over the control. If these deals are not really looked into carefully, then we might have also the Qataris or these Arabs running or taking a hold of the country, because they are owning. They do get to run or own most of these assets. If you look at, for example, the air industry, the aviation industry, you realize for Rwanda, the Emirates, they have invested heavily in the air sector in Rwanda, so that you do find that maybe perhaps for the ownership, most of the ownership of the aviation industry is with the hands of the Emirates, and these are the Arabs also who are coming in from Qatar and other different parts of the Middle East. But apart from that, I will say South Africa is also coming out strong in terms of going out and drawing or looking for investors from the rest of the world. Last year, but there was a Japanese delegation, I would believe, let me just call it so, And this delegation of the Japanese, they had a meeting with the government of South Africa, different agencies, governmental agencies in South Africa, in terms of working to invest in South Africa. But of course, not just the Japanese, we also do have other different people that have seen the potential and the interest in South Africa. And that is why you see, for South Africa, it's relatively easier for them than any other African country on the continent to bring in investors. And I'm talking about that, I'm talking about the ease, because they have already laid down the infrastructure that is needed. They have, the infrastructure is better. When it comes to telecommunication infrastructure, it's there. The digital and telecommunication infrastructure, it's there. When it comes to roads, it's there. The bridges and things like that, the infrastructure is there. For many other African countries, for example, for the DRC Congo is like you starting up from the bottom. You're not really starting from zero. Of course, some work has been done. But when it comes to things like infrastructure, we do not have that, the level of our infrastructure. You cannot really compare the level of infrastructure with the DRC Congo, with South Africa. And that is why I'm saying, I do believe for South Africa, it's relatively much more easier for them to draw investors from the rest of the world to sort of go and invest in that particular country. The only thing that we do have between the DRC and South Africa, it's that both of them are, the government is mad with corruption. And therefore, you would not really have the confidence of the investors in a country that that your assets really, they are the risk because of the corruption in that particular country. The other day, we did see the government of South Africa, led by the president himself. His name is Cyril Ramaphosa. Cyril Ramaphosa attended or made himself present to answer questions to a commission of inquiry that was conducting an investigation. And I believe this is a move to sort of try and inspire public confidence and trust, and saying that no one is above the law in South Africa, or no one can just do things anyhow. Everyone should be held responsible or accountable to the state agencies. But I don't think that will also be enough. I don't think that really is also enough in terms of inspiring investor confidence yet for South Africa. They have gone outside. So they have gone out. South Africa has gone out. We'll try to draw in foreign investors. And I was saying, if you were to compare South Africa and the DRC Congo has a lot of potential, but the problem is the infrastructure the level of infrastructure is low compared to South Africa, where we do have the trains, we do have the roads working very, very well. For the DRC Congo, I tend to think for the DRC Congo, you might even have difficulties moving goods. You will have difficulties moving goods. If you, for example, go up and set up an industry, maybe it's a small industry involved in the manufacture of a fertilizer, or maybe it's a small industry that is making, producing paints, paints for painting our households, paint, really. It would be difficult moving these goods or commodities from point A to point B because of the infrastructure that is also lacking. And so I would say, more over and above the goal or these initiative by the government of the DRC Congo, I would say maybe perhaps it should have also been focusing on also trying to make the environment much better for the investors. And I'm talking about maybe perhaps also beefing up or perhaps also improving their infrastructure, improving things like energy, because there is no way you want to go set up in a country where there are problems with the energy. This expo that they put up in Dubai, I believe it's a good thing, but also, there is a long way to go before we do have real investors are going into the DRC Congo. What has happened is that there has been so much exploitation in the DRC Congo for so many years. And these wars, like Akufo was saying a little bit earlier, these are the wars that are instigated with the influence from the outside, from the West, so that they can continue taking resources without having to pay for its full value in the DRC Congo. This is the minister. He was talking about the investment opportunities. And then we shall touch on a little bit about South Africa before we go on to our main focus for the day, which is Ghana, led by the president, Akufo Addo, Nana Akufo-Addo.
It's often said the Democratic Republic of Congo is a land of opportunity. One can invest in agriculture, fishing, livestock farming, industry, road, port and airport infrastructure, and mining. The country has immense potential, but it's not yet been transformed and has not been sufficiently explored and exploited. This is why the model of the Emirates, which is a pretty useful model, is inspiring the Democratic Republic of Congo.
While the country is best known for its mining industry, agriculture and digital infrastructure was high on the agenda. The DRC imports most of its basic products, and although it has 80 million hectares of land, only 10% is currently exploited.
So you can only see if they have 80 million hectares and they're only using 10%, you can see the big potential that lies in agriculture. But I would say what Africa is needing right now is also that departure from over the lands on agriculture, and also go into also, industrializing the continent, setting up our factories, setting up our industries that will be involved in the processing of raw materials from the continent. Because for a long time we have been in the extractive sphere. So where we extract materials, they are taken to other different countries, they are processed, and then they are sold back to the continent of Africa at a very high price. Let me just say, even for agricultural products, crops like tea and coffee, we do have Kenyans. Let me just even use Africans. Let me just use Kenyans just to represent the rest of the continent. We do have Kenyans who go and they are daily in the morning, very early in the morning, going out in the fields to farm their crop, which is coffee. And then this coffee, of course, is sold to the European market through an auction at the port of Mombasa, which is a big auction market. And then when it's sold at the port, this coffee is taken to European countries, and then it's processed. And then this coffee is then sold back as it's already processed to the Kenyans. For most Kenyans, they will not be able to access this, be able to afford this coffee. So it does not make any sense that Africa continues to rely on these, the extractive sector, that we own an extractive material, sending them elsewhere, and then being sold back to the continent. It does not make any sense. The same also goes for oil, where we do have countries such as Nigeria, Angola, and Sudan, Equatorial Guinea are being involved in heavy extraction or heavy mining of oil. But these countries are also facing challenges when it comes to, having accessing petroleum products. There is a shortage of petroleum products, but we still have those available on the continent. So I was saying we have a problem. The DRC, in terms of our infrastructure, not many people will be willing to go into the DRC to invest because the roads there, like I was saying, comparing to South Africa, they already have the trains, they already have the roads working, they already have other sort of infrastructure working.
Yeah, because white people there, you keep saying like, yeah, because you're a bunch of white people that lived there and settled, so they were going to develop it. That's why. So Congo is a place that they just steal. Shit. It's got development and it's got stuff. Yeah, because white people moved there and they developed the shit because they were going to live there.
For the Congo, they do not even see a need of getting to develop it. You know what happens in the Congo? I think there is only one train. I'm not sure if they have two trains, but for example, there was an incident.
They needed one train. That's why I put all my shit in the steel and get the fuck out of there.
So for the Congo, they have one train, and this is a train. It seems like it was from the 40s. You might think there's a train from the 40s.
That was the problem. And I gonna build no new ones for these niggas. Yeah, hell, now I got airplanes. I got airplanes and airstrips. I built in the jungle. I fly my plane, put all that shit in the back, and I fly up out of there. Shit, cause you're right. They ain't got no roads. So I just built my airstrip in the middle of the jungle. Fly my big ass planes up in there, get all my shit, and fly up out of there.
That was Mobutu Seseko, the second president of the DRC Congo, who built his own airport near his home, so that he's the only one using the airport. And this is public money. And he was termed as the richest man on the continent. Around that particular time, I think he was the richest man in Africa because all the resources, he was
he's the one getting paid off. Exactly. He didn't build shit, didn't do shit, didn't create shit. He's the richest man.
So you can see for a country like this, I believe this is a train that was the railroad lines were constructed when we did have the British also come in and have the Indians you know, they came with the Indians as well to construct to be involved in the construction of these railway lines.
Let's bring the Indians in. They didn't want the black people to know how to build shit, do shit. That they took all that knowledge. The African was a moron. Wanted to keep him on the bottom, keep him stupid, keep him ignorant. That's the plan. That's how they set the world up. You know, that now they got the knowledge from the African. Now the African has lost knowledge. Keep his ass on the bottom, keep him stupid, keep him in poverty, keep him a slave.
And the Africans also, even after, you know, we were saying sometimes back that even after these the colonization ended, there was for the department, you know, we do not have a landed force, for example, in the DRC Congo. You know, most of these.
Most of DRC is ignorant. It's illiterate. The majority of people in Congo are illiterate. That's so when you're that stupid, you're easy to dominate. Just like the guy, I gotta go back to the cab driver with Katie and Joey. He said, you know, if we had some more white people in here, it would be better. They would build it up. And they're like, what? they build it up. They would build it. Hold on, let me finish. They would build it up for us. That's the African mindset. It's a fucking moron and a child. Why would somebody build something up for you, stupid? That means they're going to enslave you, dummy. If it was more white people, Tanzania would be more built. Why don't you build it, stupid?
That is a question.
If we had more white people, there would be more building. Yeah.
That is
what he said too.
We on the continent, we want everyone else to come and do it for us. We do not want to do it for ourselves. We want everyone else to come and do it for us. We just fold back our hands and have everything right, and which will not happen. I was saying, even for Zimbabwe, when we did have the farmers, these not the farmers really, but these are colonizers who were taking over the land. They had they had large scale farming projects. So when they left, and we did have Mugabe taking back the land and giving it back to the
land. Agriculture. His dumb corrupt ass did not teach his people agriculture on a mass scale, which they should have did. If you're gonna get the land, dummy, before you started to steal the land, when you weren't stealing, you was getting it back because it's your land to begin with. You would have already implemented free farming on a industrial level. So when you did take the land, it would be smooth because your people always have the education to develop it. But these despots don't want these Africans to be intelligent because they'll start overthrowing them because they know they're despots. They know they're stealing all their money. They know they're puppets. Then you can't keep ignorant people down. They know too much. So that's why it's always been beneficial to these corruptees in Africa to make sure everybody's stupid, dumb, childlike. It benefits them as well as the European masters. So hey, you want to stay in power, you make sure you keep your people stupid. That's why you got the white man, the dude driving around the cab. If we had more white people, they would come built for us. This is the mindset. He said, I was like, what? I said, did he just say what I thought he said? So in case I'm like, yeah, that's what he said. If we had more white people, they would come build for us. And build our stuff for us. You're like, there's no other people in the world think like this. This is fucking crazy. They would build things for us. And we would be their slaves and work for them. God damn.
And for the same also goes when it comes to even feeding ourselves. You know, people want to have a kind of a reliance mindset. You know that you know the West will come and do this and that for us, and also
African mind has been destroyed. Go ahead.
Even the most basic things, we do have a problem. Even trying to sort out ourselves, like the most basic things. But I was saying now there was a situation with these railway line in the DRC Congo. I was saying, if you look at the level of our infrastructure, even if you were to go and set up a factory in the DRC Congo, you'd have problems moving your goods from point A to point B. I was saying, for example, if you go set up a paint factory or you go set up a factory that is making fertilizers or anything else like that, there will be a problem moving the commodities.
You haven't educated your people. Until you educate your people, what you're doing is just whistling in the dark. Until you educate your people, to even protect the things that they built, because people are going to come along and steal what they built or take it over, like the Chinese are running around Congo like a motherfucker. Till you educate them, stop being threatened, because you're a moron too, so you want to educate. First thing you got to do must educate your people with the highest education on purpose. Not know you give them school fees, all that shit. Only in Africa you got that dumb shit. They don't even want to, and then when they give you bad, because you got to pay for the shit that you get, and ain't nobody got no damn job, school fees, all this crazy shit. It is dysfunctional. It is backwards. And that's why Africa is a basket case.
The only thing,
on purpose, no one has changed it. It's crazy.
The only thing that of course should have been, the first thing that should have been prioritized that really would have been making sure that we have a landed force. But what happened is that we did have many African governments taking superimposing the education system of the West. Like for example, for Kenya, we take the system. For West African countries, they would take the French educational systems.
Whoever colonized you, the educational system you got. So everything was about still self-hate, still the white man's the best. This shit's crazy. White man's the best. White man came and saved you savage niggas from your poverty and your stupidity. And that was indoctrination.
There was a brother who was saying that the white men are there to do business, and the Chinese are there to do business. That was
how you gonna be free and you keep the colonizers' educational system? Don't even make any fucking sense.
And that is what is going on with that. But anyhow, I want to share with us the sentiments from West Africa and Ghana, because Ghana
also
is
Ghana.
Also,
I love Ghana. Corporate dollar dudes getting that work. Told you he was corrupt. Donnie, yes, right, Dr. But you get mad about all these dumbass Africans on the continent, he said, praising this moron because he speaks good words. I told you he was a coon, a puppet, a no good, dirty bastard is what he is. That's why you talking about, yeah, we're gonna join the French. We're gonna join the French colonial system. We're gonna get out the British. We're gonna get out the British system, and we're gonna go to the French colonial system. What the hell are you talking about? We're gonna learn French. What? Man, you can't make this shit up with this corrupt no good. He is a puppet. I'm glad you guys have finally seen it, because he speaks some. Those are words, you dummies. Look at his actions. He's a puppet.
This was him on an interview. Let me share briefly this interview. Then we shall discuss briefly on the same what is happening now with Ghana. This is a 54 corresponding show as we get to talk about more issues Africa. Right here.
So you thought I went to all these white schools? I told you. All these despot leaders from Africa, they go to white schools and they're trained to be to follow white people's rule and do what they're told to do. That's where they go at. Go to his education. Since a child, he was groomed in Europe to be a boot-licking coon, and that's what he is. Go ahead.
The continent, we have a lot of very important.
Talk about making Africa free, all that old phony shit he talking.
Lithium is that gold. We will call the gold codes. So those are there for those who are interested in mining. You have also the opportunity to have industries that are set up, not just for Ghana, but for the ECOWAS market, and also now for the African market. Because as you know, we now have an African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement, which is up and operating. As Ghana is a gateway.
Yeah, man, you have absolutely nothing, nigga. Your currency's backed by the Europeans. Shut your wicked ass mouth.
You mentioned all that. But if I look at the Ghanaian economy at the moment, it's doing. I mean, let's just be honest. It's doing terribly. You're not terribly. Well, your inflation in your country, inflation in Ghana.
I don't know if the economy in the world is doing well.
Well, inflation in Ghana, the highest inflation. Well, 15.7%. Yeah. The Ghanaian cedi has fallen 20% on the dollar. The worst after Russia, which has
it's began to firm up.
Like you got some kind of echo going on, some kind of like it's reverbing.
It's systematically appreciating against the dollar.
You still can't employ. I was just reading today. People in the hospitality industry that you're pushing so hard. Having to lay their staff off. We've got taxi driver unions threatening strikes because of spiraling fuel costs. I mean, it doesn't look like a place that I want to go and put my money.
Where will you put your money in the world today? Where will you put your money? In Britain, which is suffering the worst standard of living statistics for over 30 years? Is it?
They're not gonna put their money in Africa, moron, because you niggas are corrupt and people know you're corrupt and you're puppets. The only ones that control you are the puppets in power in Europe. The regular person doesn't want to put their money in Africa because they don't trust you niggas. They know you're all corrupt. They know Africa is just corrupt as shit. They don't feel comfortable putting their money in there. They openly tell you in your face, you niggas are corrupt. You don't want to have to be paying everybody in the world to get some shit done. Every 5 minutes, I got to pay this person, pay that person, all this crazy shit instead of getting the goddamn job done.
Steve Harvey was saying he pays $100, and when they stop him, he has to pay $100 and then get his ticket.
He sounds crazy as hell. People ain't just got $100 to throw away. I got it because he's a more. I'm rich. I just give him $100. Nobody give nobody $100 every time somebody stop you, motherfucker. You might get stopped and violent 7 times in a day. That's $700. What are you talking about?
So it doesn't make sense with that. But this is Ghana's
correctly.
president.
The world is going through very difficult times. Ghana is no exception. Nigeria is no exception.
Thank you for staying. Now, government has set aside $25 million.
Kofi Addo is eloquent on the European school. He's not that like the average moron, like a Museveni, like a moron. He's a more educated, sophisticated individual. So he can sell the bullshit better than a fucking Museveni kept and just talk stupid. I'm the boss. I'm president. I do what I do. He's more eloquent, like the moron we got over here in New York as the mayor. That's a moron. Kofi Addo is an eloquent, intelligent coon. So he's dangerous. He's more dangerous because he's eloquent. Kenyatta's kind of not as eloquent as Kofi, but he's eloquent too. These are actually dangerous niggas because they're eloquent with their lies and bullshit.
I think he might have studied in Britain. He might have. I'm not sure where he did, but I think he
studied in Britain. Yeah, he studied in Britain and Switzerland. That's all these damn future African presidents as children study in Britain and Switzerland. They taught to love white people, to do white people's business, and you niggas, you follow your direction. Imagine as a child, you get inundated with European culture, which is at that time more superior than yours. I mean, not the culture, but the living standards. They really have no culture. And so you're impressed by this. Wow, these white people got everything. They're great. You never taught really your history. But you really don't know what it is to be Africans. You always chasing. And you're growing up in a corrupt system, so that becomes part of your nature to steal from your people. But you're more eloquent at doing it because you've been taught in European schools. You're more sophisticated. So you talk the Queen's English. You're more regal.
And you drink tea with milk as well. You also drink tea with milk.
You drink your tea with your milk, and you talk all eloquently. You know your French, like you was talking to the French president, French at the second side, whatever that shit is. He's speaking all French. He's high culture. Like, oh man, look at this Kofi Addo, my God. Then you go behind the scene. This nigga is corrupt as shit.
For Museveni, I think they got him from a gorilla from the gorilla.
Yeah, he was a puppet. Yeah. He's a puppet out in the bush that they kept in there. Yeah, there's no eloquency with this moron. That's the moron that they kept putting power and kept in power. Because I stand the military, the guy to be impoverished, they have no money for military or police. That comes from the West. So when you understand who's keeping him in power, it's the West. They put him in power, kept him there. But they're not gonna have him on the world stage talking. He's a moron.
When he starts to converse at the union, what do you call these meetings? The
UN.
Yeah, the UN General Assembly.
They don't listen to that moron. They like, hey, it's time to go to lunch. Ooh, this moronic ass Negro, we out. We can't listen to this bullshit.
For Ghana, one of the biggest issues that was that there the end of last year, was the issue of taxation of digital platforms, because they were saying that they want to tax people who are conducting businesses online, and also I think even for the use of.
Now they want to take everybody on the internet because they want to do that because they've stolen all the money. It's a new revenue stream that would destroy your internet, dummy. You don't have the infrastructure that you built to tax the internet. It would destroy your creativity. You better have enough people that can afford to get on the internet. Now you're gonna tax them?
That is a problem we do have for both countries, both Uganda and Ghana. Let me play a little bit more of the same because you'll hear him defending the same.
Upgrade some of the country's iconic historic sites to boost tourism and attract the needed patronage. An additional $45 million has been allocated to the sector to enhance skills training, improve access to tourist sites, among others. President Akufo Addo announced this when he opened the Destination Ghana event in London to usher in a new drive to attract foreigners to visit and explore Ghana. According to him, Ghana has an abundance of offerings in the tourism sector for the world. As the countries ease restrictions following the COVID-19 outbreak, he called on the world to choose Ghana and enjoy the beauty.
Did you know that you could buy some of the most explosive but little-known cryptocurrencies for 80% less, even 90% less than other investors will wind
of the country?
Over the last few years, we have, in addition to the abundance of natural resources.
So that is a little bit of Akufo Addo. I wish I could get that clip where he was talking about the taxing of people.
No one tax the internet. Hey, moron, why do you think no innovation comes out of Africa, stupid? Reason why they had innovation like Twitter and Facebook, because the internet was free and available. Easy access to people to do you could pay for the your internet, but that's why these apps were all free. That's why they were free. Google, YouTube, because that would draw people in, that would bring you advertising dollars. That's how it works. You motherfuckers want to tax shit, but you got no innovation. You now destroyed innovation, dummy. The people don't even got no money. So you can't, and now they got to pay. They got to pay for the internet, then they got to pay taxes on top of that. So where does the money come to innovate at? Nowhere. Ain't nobody coming no fucking Ghana to innovate shit I got to pay. I always got to pay to get on the internet, double price in Africa. Then the bandwidth is all fucked up and slow. And then I got to be taxed. Hey, you sound crazy as cat. Shit, nobody coming no damn Africa.
For innovation, what has happened is that for most African governments, they have not focused on empowering young innovators. What happens is that we wait till the apps have been developed, till softwares have been developed, till new technology has been developed, and we want to go out and copy from the Silicon Valley. You know what is being made in the Silicon Valley? It's introduced in Africa. They make millions of Africans. There is no money being given back to them.
Yeah, because exactly right. Because they don't innovate because the country, because these governments are so corrupt. They got to keep stealing from their people more and more. But you now strangled innovation. You've now made your country not plausible for innovation.
That is a problem.
And that's what you've done.
I remember Dr. Arikana was urging African governments to focus on giving these young people, young people around the continent opportunities for innovation. She was saying that there would be solutions are being given through opportunities in innovation, but that is not what the African governments are doing here.
Yeah, but it's the UK. They don't want innovation because innovation overthrows their ass. They're scared about these puppets are scared to death about maintaining their power. They don't give a fuck about they don't give a shit about innovating Africa. That's not their benefit. That's not their benefit. They like it. As long as they get the cultures and live good, they don't give a fuck African people mind in poverty. All they worry about is getting their kickbacks.
This was his defense for taxing digital platforms. This is what he was saying. Play.
It's doing. I mean, let's just be honest. It's doing terribly.
Not terribly.
Well, when your inflation in your country, inflation in Ghana.
I don't know the economy in the world that's doing well. I'll tell you where you are here. The highest inflation.
Well, 15.7%.
The economy's terrible. They gonna tax the people more.
The worst after Russia, which is which has a lot of sanctions
It
against
ain't got nothing to do with no damn Russia either. They keep talking about nothing. Now these bootlicks gonna talk about Russia.
We're seeing the CD systematically appreciating against the dollar.
People still can't employ, I was just reading today, people in the hospitality industry that you're pushing so hard, having to lay their staff off. We've got taxi driver unions.
They gotta lay their staff off because people can't afford to go to Ghana. That fake ass come back to Africa shit that they did, that's already done. Anybody going no fucking Ghana? Fuck Ghana. So anybody going back no Ghana. There was no love there and shit. As with Steve Harvey, well, when I come to Ghana, I get love. Well, what about the goddamn woman told, nigga, you ain't our tribe. Get out of here. And then, where's that love at? And so she said, oh, I'm happy to be home in Africa. She wasn't just talking about Ghana. She just happened to be in Ghana. She was talking about Africa as a whole. And these Ghanaians came after this lady. Hey, you shut your damn mouth. You ain't our tribe. And then I'm laughing about you, Rick. I didn't know that till we were talking about the damn Grammys yesterday. I didn't know. I told you what they do. These Jamaicans all upset. Good for you, no good bootlicking ass niggas. You Jamaican, you coon. The #1 reggae group in the world is a white group, right? They want best reggae.
I haven't had a party, but I was saying yesterday, in the next 2 years, the king of Afrobeat will be some white dude in right, the king.
Better say, Spike's put some images of the group that won the best reggae album. What's a white motherfucker? I love it. That's what you Jamaican niggas get. You coon motherfuckers, you. What you get? Hey, they all mad. Jamaicans all mad. What kind of bullshit is this? No, you said it's all right. The white people can have your culture. Motherfucker, they come into your culture, they replace you. You'll grow up eventually, dummy. But you don't want to guard your culture.
The same way they love their white women is the same way.
Yeah, got my white women and my reggae. Now, they gonna replace you niggas completely. You'll find every top of the chart's gonna be some white people. White groups. Hey, we created reggae. No, you didn't, nigga. We created reggae.
This is them here. This is the best. This is the king of reggae now. The name of the band, the name of the group is Soja. S-O.
Yes, Soja. Hey, they got black reggae. Soja. You know, it's like reggae. We soldiers. We're right. Soldiers for Africa. Go with the soldier to Africa. There you go. There you go, you goofy niggas.
They have the drugs on. Maybe if you check well, you might find them being these are what do you call them? The Jews. They might be these are Jews who are now the kings of reggae. I don't know about the band.
I don't know nothing about the band. I don't know nothing about the band either. I know they white. They might be Jews. I don't know, but I know it's funny. That's what you reggae niggas get. People, I already know because the reggae's all on the internet. What kind of bullshit is this? And we had great reggae bands. How did these white people beat the real reggae band? Because you niggas said they could be in your culture. That's what they do. They own the Grammys, you dumb Negroes. They own that bullshit. So they're going to replace you with their own fake white people, so they're the best. And 2 years later, they're going to be the kings of reggae, nigga.
It's like Sister Janet, Sister Janet yesterday was saying they want the reggae without the African. They want the culture, but they do not want the culture with the African. So they want the reggae, but they want the reggae without the African. So you can you can as well go to hell. We will be the next kings of reggae. And for the next yes, the best.
But you see white people in Kenya doing goddamn Gang of Town, a Gang of Tim. Let's go. We're the Gang of 10 artists. That's right, niggas. That's right.
It does not even make any sense now. If you look at these images closely over these soldiers and them
What kind of soldier? We are reggae African soldiers. Soldiers for justice. We're the reggae soldiers. I ain't never heard none of their songs, Spike. I bet that shit sucks.
I don't know about them either, but this is them here on stage.
There they go. There they go, Spike. Getting the Grammy. These crackers getting the Grammy for the best reggae group. You're like, what? What is this? What is this bullshit? I can't do a Jamaican accent, damn it. What is this bullshit going on?
Yeah, Samuel or Keston, brother Keston, make a query.
What is this? What is this bullshit?
What is this, man? What is this, man?
These are the real rosters, nigga. These people are gonna be making a new roster land.
Yeah, if you go to Tanzania and you're looking to hang out at the Rasta land, these are the people you find hanging out. The next time, Nisha and Zobi and Akif go to Rasta land, they will be hanging out with the few kings of reggae. And Nisha, the kings of reggae at a Rasta land.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
This is a slap on the face. It's like you would have a Chris Rocker being.
It is. I love it. Yeah, I love it. Now they mad. Now he said, you said white people are your buddies and they're your friends. Let them in the reggae. Why you get mad now when they now the #1 reggae group?
Yeah,
this is bullshit. All on the internet. This is bullshit. Yeah, is it? Oh, okay.
And from now onwards, you can expect to see more reggae and more white reggae bands.
You don't know. You bet damn right. What? Man, you gonna see white reggae everywhere. What? Everybody and mama gonna be a white reggae artist.
Doesn't get crazier than this. You can see them here. I do see them backstage. I think these was backstage. All of them. I mean, these are Jews. It might be. I'm not sure, but I will check.
It might be. I don't know. Only thing I know is that they reggae of the year. I know. I know that.
The next time you know, the reggae group of the year will be those half breeds. Not the half breeds. The ones that we were showing from Chicago. Those will be the reggae group of the year. I can't remember what their family name was.
Right.
Yeah, that was them.
And pretty soon, that Afrobeats Artist of the Year, some white motherfucker from Britain. Yeah, that's right. We Afrobeat motherfucker. That's right. That's what they do. It's coming. It's coming.
They will wipe you off. They will wipe them off the slate so that no one can associate reggae.
They would have a burner board for the good album, so the WizKid. So what? This Jackson Brown, this white dude named Jackson Brown from the UK, he is Afrobeat Artist of the Year. That's right.
These are the things that they can truly be able to steal. You know, things like athletics, they will not be able to steal. There is no way you will come up and saying
they can't steal your left there because it's even. Exactly right. They can't outdo you the left and athletics because there's no way to steal the shit. It's person on person.
Well, maybe
they control all the levels of power. So this they can say, yeah, the white group won. That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, they win. All these great black reggae groups, yeah, but they wasn't good enough. The white man won. That's right.
Now the Jamaicans might rethink. That is why the Jamaicans now are saying they want to be free of the Queen. But the Queen told them, you have to make this a reggae group. And that's what it is. And you can see here one more time, this is a reggae group, Artist of the Year. Like they did even with Motown, making sure that Motown has turned white, and all the R&B and everything else is white. They will take
right.
Over. This is it's insane. For lack of a better word, this is insane. The reggae group of the year.
That's what they do. That's what they do. And black people need to see. I don't know, black people, you need to see this. You need to understand that these are culture vultures. They're coming now. They now say when black people created jazz back in the day and blues and all that shit, that they try to lie, say they created it. They're the face of the blues and the jazz. But Betsy says back 100 years ago, and Louis Armstrong and jazz 150 years ago, black people creating that music. White people came up and copied it. And now, yes, right, we're the best in jazz. We're the best in the blues. That's right, niggas.
This is what everyone ought to see in Jamaica. They should be on the prime time.
They seen it. They seen it. Spike. They mad. That shit's funny. That's how I knew. I didn't know. If I knew about it yesterday, I would have said something. I didn't know because I ain't watched the Grammy. I know. I just was looking online. All these Jamaicans talking about the white reggae group. The white reggae group. What the hell are they talking about? These white bastards. How the hell they win with all this great Jamaican talent that was nominated? I said, oh no. They're a white group. I said, oh, you niggas. I'm going to laugh at this.
I would like to hear from Samuel his thoughts.
I would too. So you gotta go to what's the chat room and ask his ass. We be hanging out all the time. They call themselves soldier. Just with the Jamaican accent. We're soldier. Soldier. Not soldier. Not SOLDIER like soldier. Oh, Jamaican patois. We're soldier. Soldier.
Cultural appropriation is real. The dreadlocks and the music and now everything else. They want it without the African, and you can bet
that our dreadlocks, nigga. We're the real African dandada.
They are also the real Texas Ranger. The lone Texas Ranger. It's them.
That's right. All right. That's right. We're the Lone Ranger. That's right. So we're the Lone Rangers, nigga. Did nobody know for years that the Lone Ranger was the black man? I knew it. I knew that all the stories about Bass Reeves. The story. I said that's Bass Reeves, and they probably this Bass Reeves. So what? We wouldn't put no black man, real story, no hero. We make him a white man. Long range, put a mask over his damn face.
This doesn't come as a shock after seeing what they did with like yesterday. I was talking about the Nubian and the Egyptian, the Kemet, the whitewashing of the history. It's not really a surprise. I don't think even these would catch.
But if you know who they are and what they do, you wouldn't be surprised by, because that's what they have no culture. They come and steal your culture and claim to be you. That's what they've done all throughout history. Everybody now who was you is now white people. Everybody, these movies have white people. These are African people. So what? They tell you, so what? They can kick rocks. We say they white.
That is the reality that now the Jamaicans have to face. But anyhow, family, thank you for joining us on the broadcast. Sister Michelle, thank you so much. I hope that you are doing well. And also for
how you doing, Sister Michelle? Hopefully doing well. And make sure you go out and listen to that album by Soulja.
She might come across it, but personally, I'm not going looking after any album by Soulja.
I'm not going to look. I never heard of it. I just bad. I thought it funny.
Yeah, unless I find maybe
some. Is that the song right there? Is that their song? Is that them, Spikes? Is that them?
No. This is not them.
I'm about to say, damn, that sounds pretty good.
No, that's not them. Okay, thank you so much for being out with us as well, Sister Michelle. Enjoy the rest of your day. Make sure you catch us on the other shows.
Much love, family.